Hello, everybody. This is T from Prepared Passages. And so I just wanted to tell you guys about my own breakthrough. Today, I decided to just come on and do a video. No, nothing. Just me doing a video saying hello to you all. I'm telling you this because I am the founder of Prepared Passages. I started this program because I saw a gap. I saw a gap amongst families. I saw a gap of the unity of the family. Like, I saw that we have a culture of a captain and crew, but then the crew doesn't know really what to do. So perhaps maybe on a good boat, we'll say the husband, usually the captains are husbands, and that's fine. But at the same time, um, we kind of see this atmosphere where the crew is the captain is the husband, the wife is the skipper, and that's perfectly fine. That's the first mate. However, then so like, you know, the husband will say to his wife, "Hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z." A lot of times it's prep work. A lot of times it's taking care of the kids. A lot of times it's taking care of maybe the systems or something like that. Typically, how most sailing boats work is that the husband is at the helm. He navigates and he drives the boat, and then he does the repairs if it needs to be some on that boat. I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think that anything's wrong with that. The problem that I have is this. I'm a nurse and I'm an educator. And so all of a sudden, well, when I put my mind into wanting to go sailing from my own world and from my own perspective, what I saw was, okay, well then what happens if the captain goes down? Can I still drive the boat? If I can still drive the boat, can I take care of him? Can I take care of the kids? What do we do with the kids if there's an emergency? If it were me on the boat, I would have my own plan for these things. However, most people don't. And so a lot of times the captain goes and takes a sailing class. And when he does that, it teaches them how to sail. And it would probably teach whoever wants to learn how to sail, how to sail. But then what do you do in an emergency? What if you do if the captain falls overboard? What do you do if you run out of water? What do you do in all of these real life scenarios that happen in on a real boat? Then I read an article, and the article said that 69%, so almost 7 out of 10 people who have died in fatal injuries on a boat did not have a safety plan. And then I read something from a little girl, a woman. She was a woman now, and she had printed an article about how her experience while she was on a boat. And then I began to talk to people. I began to talk to people who were thinking about sailing. I began to talk to people who had sailed. I began to just get out there in the community because I was trying to confirm my own thoughts and saying I actually didn't believe that I had a gap. I didn't believe that for all of this time of all of these people sailing that there had been this gap where we were not connecting the family as a unit, so that from the smallest member to the biggest member, they would know what to do. We understand that the captain needs to know what to do, but even for the captain, what are a huge amount of undertaking and responsibility to say that not only am I responsible for making sure this boat runs because I have to fix it and I have to drive it, but then if something were to happen to me, there is no one who has my back. Who has my back? Who makes sure that things keep running when if something were to happen to me? Who makes sure that I come back or that I have a higher chance of coming back if something were to happen to me? And then I began to say, well, that's a problem, right? That's a big, big problem. And then I began to research and look and see, how can I fix this problem? Well, before I was ever a nurse, I was an educator. So I like to teach kids. I like to hear there's voices. Another thing that I observed is that there were a lot of kids who were just like, yeah, I was there and I had the boating experience, but I didn't like it and no one asked me. So these are mindsets that need to be changed. These are shifts that need to happen. So then I design passages, and when I design passages, I designed it in a way that your whole entire family will be integrated as a unit, because the boat has its parts and each part is important, but they create a boat, right? What you're not going to, some people do, like maybe you want to refix a boat or something like that, but for the most part, most of us go out and we want to buy a whole boat that's intact, and we want to drive it, and we want to be able to drive it off, maybe with some minor repairs, especially if we're first getting started and we don't really know what we're doing. So it's the same thing for your family. It's the same thing for your crew. You don't want to start off with a crew that's wrecked. You don't want to start off with a crew that doesn't understand what they're supposed to do, what their part is in this. And it doesn't matter if they're 5 years old or if they're 18 years old or 17 years old, right? 18, you're an adult. But like at 17, well, maybe I never even wanted this and I just felt like I got taken away from all of my friends. How do you integrate that child besides saying, oh, well, you're going anyway? What about giving them some decisions? What about giving them some choices? So Passages became a fully integrated preventative program. So we prevent what we can prevent, and then we help you handle the emergencies that we can't prevent, because there's things on the boat that you simply will not be able to prevent. But then we help you to learn how to handle and to navigate that too. Not just you as the captain, not just whoever is the skipper, or but the whole entire crew, even if it's for your smallest member, to get them in a safe position so they're not traumatized from the event. That's what we do. And I am extremely passionate about it, and I would love to teach you about it, and I would love to help you be able to, and your family or your crew, be able to be a better crew, a more united boat on the sea, because that's when you actually enjoy the sale. So I'm T from Prepare Passages. I hope to see you soon. Comment ready if you're ready.